Pastor has given us the opportunity, the Stewardship Committee, the opportunity to present the message today. And that message is going to be relative to a word that you heard Pastor mention a number of times already today, giving. Relative to giving, which is the second Lenten cycle of 7, the Stewardship Committee would like to talk to you today about time, talent, and treasures. Time, talent, and treasures is what we often are referred to as tithing, and it supports the message and the ministry here at Ascension. There's been a number of changes over the years on how we tithe. And back in biblical times, tithing was significantly different than it is today. We'd like to demonstrate that with a brief video that we'll show you now.
And it says, Genesis 28, verse 22, "And the stone which I have set for a pillar shall be the God's house, and of that thou shalt give me, I shall surely give the tenth unto thee."
So, my dear husband, what are we going to give this year?
Well, we're going to have to go through our list and how we are going to tithe this year. If you may take this, please. And
Certainly.
you can, so that we don't miss anything, why don't we go through what we're going to have to do to tithe this year. And you can give me the list, and I will take it down to make sure that we miss nothing.
Just as long as I don't have to chase the chickens this year. I hate chasing chickens.
Okay, we'll give the chicken chasing to one of the boys. How do you feel about counting the sheep?
Oh, I can count sheep. That's fine.
Okay, we're going to have to count the sheep. We're going to have to chase the chickens, and then we're going to have to get those and the rest to market. What else do we have to do?
Well, we do have the cow, and we also have some rabbits.
We have more rabbits this year than last year. We're going to be able to tithe a good deal of rabbits.
Well, certainly if I don't want to chase chickens, I'm not going to chase any rabbits either.
Okay, we'll give the rabbits to our daughter to chase. So we have chickens, rabbits, cows, sheep, a donkey, and a crop. What do we have that we can give to the church this year as far as crops?
Oh, I have some lovely squash.
Squash would be good. What else?
We have some beans, and I think some lovely dates as well.
Dates, beans. Didn't we have buckeyes this year?
Buckeyes. Yes, I do believe we have a lot of buckeyes, although most of them are crushed.
Well, I guess we won't be giving any buckeyes to the church. We don't want to give them something they can't possibly use.
And no corn either. There's no corn.
No corn.
No husks of corn.
No husks of corn. No buckeyes. This is going to have to stick with some of the more wild game. I hear wolverines might work.
Oh no, they've all been killed. There's no wolverines left.
Okay, who are they killed by?
Those stinking Spartans that come across the water that way.
Those Spartans are like that. They just won't keep where they're supposed to be.
They're brutals. Brutes they are.
So, let me see if I have this right now. Since we are doing this monthly, we have a list of things that we must complete in order to tithe, which we need to do because, by golly, the church and the families are in great need this year.
Can I just ask a question?
Certainly.
Is there an easier way to do this? This seems to be just a lot of work.
Well, it does seem like we're spending a lot of time picking, gathering, counting, and then getting it all to the church so that they can use it appropriately. You would think that there would be a better way. I don't know one right now. Maybe sometime in the future somebody will come up with a better way, God willing, that we can use so that this is not so much of a task as it is a joy.
I would hope so.
Okay, I think you'd all agree that's nothing but talent right there, right? Pure talent. Well, That's how it was back then. People brought to the church their crops and their animals, and that's what they provided. The evolution of things changed that to the extent that people were able to start bringing money in the form of putting it in a collection plate, and that was in an effort to try and make things easier for the congregation and for the church. Well, in keeping with that theme, we'd like to present another idea. An idea that would not only be better for or easier for everyone in the congregation, but easier for the church, easier on budgeting, easier on planning, and just overall a much simpler system that could take the place of what's currently happening.
I suppose we have to get ready for church now, don't we?
Yes, I think we do. I'm going to see if I can find the checkbook and our giving envelope and get that all ready before we go. So whatever you're going to do, finish getting ready, I will get the giving ready. Thank you so much.
You can't find that again?
I don't know what to tell you. It was here. It's not here. The kids were playing here, and now it's not here.
You would literally lose your head if it wasn't attached to your shoulders.
I have heard that said by you at least one occasion.
Tell you what, you do that, I'm going to go do something else.
Okay, you go do your project. I am going to find the checkbook. It's got to be here somewhere with everything else, right? Well, what do we have going on we're going to have to write checks for? We have various types of giving, do we not? Let's see, we have a building fund, check. Missions fund, check. General fund, check. Easter check. And then, of course, the pastor appreciation check.
Check, 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 and check.
Check, 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 and check. I'm telling you. Well, we will find it and we will get it all set. I'll do that. It's got to be here within your paperwork. Ooh. Hey, did one of the kids borrow a library book they didn't return?
Based on past history, there's a pretty good chance that did happen, yes.
All right. We can sneak that back. Not a problem. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, my.
While you're looking, can you try to find my car keys, please?
Car keys?
Yes.
Sure, I'm right on that. No problem. Hey, it's my turn. All right. We can do this. Okay, maybe it wasn't my turn. Stop that.
So, how's it going? Are you finding any of that? Did you find my car keys?
Car keys. Yeah, no, looking hard. I'll get them. Not a problem. Not at all. Are we signed up to do Gabby's on the 16th?
I believe so.
Is that in your calendar?
My calendar. I'm going to say yes.
Going to say. What about the chili cook-off? Are we going to do that this year as well?
I plan on winning that, even though Pastor Julie says she is.
Well, I've had your chili, and I think Pastor's got a good chance.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear a word you were saying. I was going through my old stack of messengers. There's some really good messages there.
I wish you would hurry up because, you know, I have to put on my makeup or else I look like a man.
But a very attractive man, dear. Hey, did you know that back in 2013 that we had the same messages that we do sort of today?
Really?
Mm-hmm. It appears as if the 15th of March comes every year at that time.
Are you serious? Are you joking or are you just trying to stall?
I'm stalling.
Okay.
and apparently not doing a very good job of it.
I assume you haven't found my keys yet, and while you're looking for that, maybe a hair
Okay.
tie as well.
Keys, we'll find your keys.
Because I'm not going to have time to do my hair. Have you found those checks in the envelopes yet?
Well, here's the thing, is we've got the box of envelopes from 2010, a full box from 2013, and then we have miscellaneous envelopes for this week. And I still don't know what to do with the other checks I have to write other than the giving fund. So your input would be most appreciated at this point.
Well, I am a little distracted on that project I told you about, which I should be done momentarily.
Okay, project you told me about. I should remember this, shouldn't I?
You should actually, but I forgive you since you forget most things I tell you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you just said on that last one. I'm looking hard for your keys instead.
Exactly, and I doubt that very highly.
Do we have a pen that writes in this building?
Well, I'm done. Are you done?
It's my turn in art. What do you mean, done?
I mean, like, I'm done with my project. You don't have to look for those silly envelopes or the checkbook anymore. At least not for today, because I just set us up on online giving.
We're doing online giving now?
Yes, the church will get a consistent giving from us so we don't have to write those huge checks every 2 months because we can't remember an envelope.
So I can get rid of all the envelopes, I can get rid of all the checks, and we don't have to write checks for the different offerings?
Well, that depends. We'll have to sit down and talk about that.
Well, isn't that just
We
a
could.
better way to go?
We could if we wanted to, but we'll have to see how we feel about it. But for right now, I just set up a partial payment, and we can change it anytime we want.
Well, that is wonderful. And I can devote my time instead of writing checks to other pursuits.
Well, and I think the church will appreciate it too, to be honest with you, because getting $0 this week and $5 that week and then, $100 a month from now gets a little tedious and probably a little annoying from an accounting standpoint.
We want to make sure we keep the check and the accountants very happy. I think that would be a wonderful thing.
So this was good, honey, but listen, I really, really do have to get my makeup on.
Good luck with that, dear.
What was that supposed to mean?
Okay, I think you'll all agree now. That's just nothing but raw talent, right? Wow. Never knew we had those kinds of talents. Thank you, gentlemen. But for those of you who are paying more attention to the diatribe than the video, Dave Dawson just set up his Vanco account. It's that simple. It's that fast. Now, why do we want to consider this? Well, the beauty of this is it provides consistency for us as members of the congregation. It provides consistency for the church from a income standpoint and a budgeting standpoint. So it's user-friendly, obviously. You can change it. There's an unlimited amount of times that you can change it. You can go in every day if you wanted to and literally change it. I don't know why you'd want to do it that frequently, but you have the capability of doing that. Most importantly, this is endorsed by Thrivent. Thrivent's one of the world's largest financial institutions, and it has the security behind it so that you don't have to worry about somebody stealing your information. Now, Dave just put his checking account number and his routing number, and hopefully everybody forgets that in a matter of minutes. But literally, that's how long and that's the effort that it takes to set up online giving so that you don't have to write checks anymore. And the periphery value of all this is not only does it even out the peaks and valleys of tithing for the church and what comes in and out of your checkbook, But if you go on vacation, if you miss a Sunday, for whatever reason, you have the good feeling to know that you're still tithing for the church that Sunday. And it will continue whether you're there or whether you're not. So that's a very good feeling for some of us that have kids that are playing sports and you miss a Sunday here and there, or people that go to Florida for a month or two during the winter, or go up north for the summer, whatever it might be. So going back to the message, what's the message here? Well, the message is we can make a significant impact to what we give for the church without changing a whole lot of what we actually do relative to today. And if you do it online, the security issues are gone, and the numbers, the dollars are better for you and better for the church. Does anybody have any questions about what you saw?
Process is almost like joining a gym. When it comes time that things are tight and you want to back off your donation or stop it altogether for a short period of time, how hard is that to do?
Well, the most difficult part of the entire process is what you just saw, is setting up your profile. And so once you have your profile set up, you just log in with your password, go to your profile, and you can put a stop. You can stop it for 1 week, you can stop it for a month, you can stop it indefinitely. You can set all that up as easy as a keystroke on a keyboard. So, I mean, it's a really simple process. And so we started with giving away or giving to the church animals and crops, and then we went to putting coins in a collection account or a collection plate. And now we're talking about electronic or online giving. It's the next evolution in planning, and it significantly benefits both us and the church. So we're hoping that you would give it consideration. With the idea of Vanco, the Stewardship Committee is incorporating the idea of collecting as many emails as we can from everybody. Now, what's the value of that? No, it's not so that we can push out spam emails to everybody and continue to complicate their lives with that kind of stuff, but we can get more church information out to more people faster electronically is the first benefit. But secondly, if you think about the costs of the messenger, we do a great job, don't get me wrong, but this last messenger that went out is 15 pages. Rough cost for each one of these, when you factor in paper and toner and all the dollars that go into it, is just shy of $1 a piece. Send 250 of them out a month, that's $250 a month. If you think about what it costs to create a box of envelopes to be able to put a check in so that you can tithe on a weekly basis, you can see where the electronic concept can save the church a lot of money. And in a situation right now where we're trying to make ends meet on the budget, could be a huge benefit, a huge benefit. So we're hoping that you'd consider the electronic side of tithing. And if you have any questions, you can contact myself or Dan or Dave or Mrs. Duro, however she chooses to be referred to. And we'll help you any way we can, even to the extent that we're going to publish a day that in between services, we have a bank of computers set up in a room down the hall. If you'd like, you can come in and we'll help you do what Dave did in front of everybody. We'll help you set up your Vanco account. If you have any questions or problems, we'd be right there to help out. Now, we're not going to be looking over your shoulder to see what your checking account number is, but we'll be there to assist you to make sure that it's done properly and help in any way we can. So please give it consideration.
Spence,
I'm sorry, Don.
You keep mentioning this Vanco. What is Vanco?
Well, Vanco is the entity by which Thrivent provides the church opportunities to give online giving.
And are they going to take anything that I give, for processing or administrating that?
No, there's no charge for it.
So everything I give comes right back to the church.
Comes right to the church. Comes right to the church.
I just have one other question. In the boxes of envelopes, my weekly giving envelopes are in there, but there's some different colored ones in there for special extra giving. How do I do that?
Great question. You can set your account up a lot of different ways. One of the things that you can do is you can set it up. I'm just going to pick a number here. Let's assume that you give $10 a week in an envelope. And what you can do is you can set up your Vanco account to take $5 out and input it into your church account. And then if you want, you can put the other $5 in the collection plate. Or you can set it up to only take out for Lenten services, or only take out for holidays or special occasions or whatever it might be, or take it out once in a year's time. However you want to set it up, there are 1,000 ways to manipulate the information so that you can get it any way you want it. It's really convenient and it's really easy. It's simple, especially for people like me who I'm not a computer scientist. So if I can get through it, I think anybody can get through it. It's really a pretty simple process. But again, that's our message: tithing and the new age of computers. You have no idea what we're talking about. Good question. If you go online to the Ascension Church website, okay? On our website will be, yeah, thanks, if you can pull it up. On the website will be an opportunity. It's on the website. Yep. Can you go to online giving? You go to online giving and then click on the button that says online giving. It'll take you right to Vanco's website, and that's where you would set up your personal account and set up the regular giving opportunity. Yeah.
And the information we put in there is only going to stay.
Yeah. One question that somebody had for me was, if I go to the Ascension website and then click on to go to Vanco, and fill out the information at the Vanco site, will that information be logged on the Ascension site as well? And the answer to that is no. Once you click on the Vanco site, you actually leave Ascension's website. So any information that you put on Vanco stays on Vanco, and it's nowhere else. I can, and thank you for that. Brian, the Vanco page, if you will. I just threw some numbers together, okay? And this is by no means representative of actual detail, but I wanted to give you an example. If you see the number 600, let's assume that we have 600 giving members, okay? And all I did was split those into three categories, even categories. 200 regular members being people that come in on a weekly basis or relatively weekly basis. Non-regular members are people that might be seasonal, and members that we aren't sure exactly of their status, okay? Now, we know that the 200 regular members are regular givers. So there's a plan, you can plan for that. We also know that the 200 people that we don't know what their status is likely aren't giving anything at this point in time because we don't know whether they are or aren't members. But what I'd like to talk to you about is that middle column where I've got the blue arrow. If we have 200 members that are seasonal or irregular, maybe holidays or whatever it might be, but they're not regular members. If they gave $10 a week and you multiplied that by 50 weeks, that's $26,000 of income that the church currently isn't getting. Now, that's at $10. That's at 50 people. What if you got 100 people out of that 200? And 50, by the way, that's just 25%. What if you got half of the 200 to give $10 a week? It's another $52,000. What's the deficit on the budget right now? I don't recall it. I'm trying to remember back in our most recent meeting, but it's about $30,000 deficit. If we got half of the irregular members to give $10 a week through Vanco, because they just planned on giving $10 a week, whether they're here or not, if we got half of those people, we not only bridge the gap in our budget, but we have a surplus of about $20,000. That's when we're looking at this electronic plan, that's the value of it to the church. To get people who aren't regular to sign up and give regularly, whether they're here or they're not here. But in addition to that, the regular people that are here giving on a regular basis, there's a value to them that they can now budget in their checkbook, as well as the church. It's a very good question. Thank you.
Spence, I just have a couple of questions. Number one, if I don't have a computer, can somebody, if I wanted to do this, somebody help me? And if I don't want to, this is just too confusing, can I still use my envelopes?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. The envelopes are still going to be available. But if we get to a point where the majority of, just again using the 600, the majority of the 600 are on Vanco, and we only have to print 50 boxes of envelopes as opposed to 600 boxes of envelopes, you can understand that there's going to be a significant cost savings from a printing standpoint. Yeah, but we'll always make and always have available for the people who want to still use the envelopes, the opportunity to put a check or their cash in an envelope and put it in the collection plate.
And you're going to still pass collection plates?
Yeah, that'll. Now,
but what if I give online though, and it kind of feels kind of odd, everybody's
right.
giving or other people giving, and I don't ever give.
The interesting part, Vanco has thought of that for people who want to put something in a collection plate, but they've signed up for electronic giving, and they created these cards, and it's somewhat like the cards that are in the back of the pews right now. You sign your name and your address, and you say I gave at Vanco, and put a dollar amount that you gave in, and you can put that in the collection plate as it goes by, so that the people know that you are providing the church tithing. Although it's electronic, they're seeing you put that card in. Good question, Don. Thanks.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate all the information, and I think I'm going to do it.